So we're going to make this more competitive by accumulating points, as you see on the chart behind us. Dad and Mom are one team, and the rest of the family. Thus, that's how you get to participate. And we'll each accumulate points. You will get to try to answer the question before the answer is revealed. Yeah, they get the answer. Okay? So now Becky's going to give you the details.
It's really, really pretty simple after that. After Mom answers her questions that Dad has already answered, then we will ask you, it's multiple choice, whether it's A, B, C, D, and you raise your card. And where's Heather? Heather's our counter. And we will give the audience, the family, a point by the majority of your vote. So this is an interactive newlywed game. Okay? So we're ready to go, Alan? Okay, the first question goes to Dad. And he gets to answer the question that Mom has already answered, so you'll have to think about it from perspective. Okay. So Dad, which family or farm event would Mom say she was most unprepared for when she got married? Okay, you're going to get 4 choices. Okay. The first one, would it be feeding the crew at harvest time? B, nursing little pigs in the kitchen to keep them alive? C, daylight to evening work schedules? D, tornado drills? And E is in-laws. Now the rest of your it's A, feeding crews, B, nursing little pigs, so remember that on your cards. C, daylight to evening work.
There's no
D, tornado drills. Okay, we'll let Dad answer first and then I'll call for the vote.
No, you can't.
No, when you first got married, which one would have been the hardest for her?
Well, that's not. Oh, wait.
Do you want them again? Okay. Feeding the crew at harvest time. Nursing the little pigs in the kitchen to keep them alive. The daylight to evening work schedule, that's C. And D is the tornado drills. And E is in-laws. Okay, the audience gets to vote. Which one do you think?
I don't know the color.
We have orange. That's B.
Which is? Feeding the pigs in the kitchen. Everybody gets a point.
They should guess before Dad says anything.
We had a variety of dogs on the farm, and they ranged from little dogs to big dogs and smart dogs and really dumb dogs, and annoying and everything in between. But when I asked Dad, what dog would Dad say had the shortest lifespan on the farm? Now, you're going to answer this. I'm going to give you 4 choices, okay? Nippy. Now, there were a couple Nippies. Happy, Prince, or Trixie. Remember that? The shortest lifespan on the farm. Oh, A, B, C, and D, yes. A is Nippy. B is Happy. C is Prince. And D is Trixie. Okay, Mom said D is Trixie. Now, we have to have a vote. Now, that might be kind of difficult for many of you. I don't know the color. What's the color?
It should be green. Yeah.
Was that? We had a count before we
I don't think that was the word.
he was a very dumb dog. Did not last very long. I believe it might have been a stray that Myron brought home. I'm not sure.
Wait till your anniversary.
Never make it.
Okay, Dad, here's another one. What famous person's wedding dress was Mom's wedding dress modeled after? And that would be A, Liz Taylor, B, Queen Elizabeth, C, Audrey Hepburn, or D, Barbara Bush. B, Queen Elizabeth is what you say? What does the audience say?
The audience. I don't see enough Barbara Bush.
Oh, not G. Yeah, Charles, like, wow. I meant that's what
Okay, the audience got that as well as it's Queen Elizabeth.
A big part of Mom and Dad's life, and especially Dad's life, has been music, singing in quartets and things like that. And so we asked Dad what might be one of his all-time favorite quartet songs, and there's probably a lot of songs you could put down, but I have 4 of them here, and you can choose which one you think it is, okay? A, This World Is Not My Home. B, Just a Little Talk with Jesus. C, Haven of Rest. And D, Under His Wings. That's A, This World Is Not My Home. B, Just a Little Talk with Jesus. C, Haven of Rest. And D, Under His Wings. So, what do you think that was? See, B. Mom says B, which is Just a Little Talk with Jesus. And we have a lot of orange. Well, what is this right here? No, I know, but okay, yeah, that's right. The answer is. Should have looked that way.
Hi, Keith.
Nobody got a point.
Okay, this is songs that were contemporary when they met. So, what song would you have heard Mom humming to Dad, or singing, or vice versa? Okay, would it be, this is your question, Dad, Chattanooga Choo Choo, B, Don't Sit on Bing Crosby? Which one of those songs? A, Chattanooga Choo Choo, B, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree, C, Paper Doll, or D, The Way You Look Tonight? Okay, he said B, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree. What do you think?
Yep.
Which one? Are you going to reveal the answer?
Oh, I am. The answer Open up again. Mom and Dad like to, when they go on little trips, we've heard them tell stories of when they'll go into a restaurant or something. It's not unusual for them to sit and find someone to talk with. I remember especially the guy that pitched Menards, sitting at a restaurant in Wisconsin and started talking to someone that seemed vaguely familiar, and it ended up being what is the slogan? What's his name? Ray from Menards? Yeah. But that's just one example. So we started thinking, if but now Mom, if Dad could have a visit over lunch with a major historical figure, not the Menards guy, but a major historical figure from the past 60 years, okay, I'm going to give you some choices again. Who would that lunch be with? The first one, Dwight Eisenhower. B, Hubert Humphrey. C, Ronald Reagan. Or D, Elmer Rodwell. Okay, it's A, Dwight Eisenhower, B, Hubert Humphrey, C, Ronald Reagan, and D, Elmer Rodwell. No, you can't take two. You have to decide. I'm not going to give you any clues. Even though I'm on the same team. Okay, Mom said Dwight Eisenhower. And we have... they don't know Elmer.
Freddie Hennenkamp.
No, it's Elmer Rodwell.
And the answer is?
The answer is...
Okay. Mom's greatest job was raising 7 kids. That was her challenge, I think. I think it was. And she had some phrases that she used a lot, that we were supposed to learn these virtues. And one of her favorite one, I've heard it with the grandchildren, and I hear it even with the great-grandchildren, that she uses. So her greatest phrase is A, and this is you, Dad, you're going to have to know which one that is. Okay, A is, I think I'm saying this right, stakaslita. B, have patience. C, a penny saved is a penny earned. Or D, you can only have 2 meatballs until Eldon has eaten. Okay, what do you think it is? It's a virtue now. Dad said have patience, which is B. What do you think? It's B. Have patience.
Means poor little boy. Right? Oh no, I'm wrong. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh, poor little person. Poor little person. I tried to learn that in one night. I didn't do closer than that, I guess. Okay. Now there are lots of chores on the farm, and most of them the boys did without any complaining. Things like milking cows and feeding the hogs, and I mean things like that. Painting the barn. Mark and I were really good about painting the barn. But there are other things that were a little more difficult to get us to do. And so I asked Dad, which extra chore will Dad say was the most difficult to get his sons to do or to help with? A, it was clean the hog house. B, stack hay in the haymow. C, pick rocks. Or D, give shots, clip teeth, that type of thing to little pigs. Okay, the question is which chore was the most difficult to get us to help with? And it was clean the hog house, that's A. B was stack hay in the hay mow. C was pick rocks. And D
What do you
was
think?
all that to the little pigs. Give shots, clip teeth, etc. Yeah,
Cut tails.
Pick rocks. Mom says pick rocks, C. D.
And here's the answer. Okay, this is the last question for Mom. Okay? Oh, for Dad. Yeah. Mom answered this already. If you were 19 years old, Dad, and you were just beginning to choose your career direction today, and knowing the skill sets that you've accumulated over the years and your personality, which direction might Mom advise you to go instead of farming? Okay? And it would be A, entertainment, like, you know, music, standing on your head, any kind of show business. B, the medical field, like all the surgeries you performed over the years. Shots and all that kind of stuff. C, a race car driver, which I've heard Oswald thought he should be. Is that what you said? And then D is a carpenter. Okay, he said C, a race car driver. Let's see what Mom said. What do you think? And that's yellow. Yeah. And Alan, what's the answer?
Actually, just race car. Okay, finally, this question will be directed to Mom, and it has to do with your good cooking. We know you're a good cook. We've enjoyed that many times. What food will Dad say is his favorite? This was kind of hard to even give you a list of them, but I'll give it to you. Grandma hot dish.
Yeah.
B is crook.
Yeah.
C is liver bologna. And D is lutefisk and lefse. A lot of groaning over that one, but we know what Wayne and I know. So it's A is hot dish, B is crook, C is liver bologna, and D is lutefisk and lefse. I know. Okay, Mom says lutefisk and lefse, which of course is D. Everybody else wants, a lot of people want the grill.
Here's the answer.
Lutefisk and lefse, there you are.
It's a tie, so we just get to do this bonus round. This is our special question. And this one goes, Mom wouldn't even answer this one, so I guess whatever you answer is a good one. The question is for you, Dad. Which child, well, you did answer it, didn't you, Mom? Okay, Dad, which child would Mom say is her favorite? I got the letters to go with this, so listen carefully. Okay. A, Myron, because he was her firstborn and was the toughest delivery. B, Kathy, because she has received the blessing.
I have.
It's true.
Okay, C is Alan, because he shares Grandpa and Grandma Clucken's anniversary and he's the middle child. D, Kendall, because he, after 6 children, she finally got a good-looking one. And then...
That's right, he said.
And then there's Kurt, Mark, and Becky. We're in one group. We're running out of alphabet cards. And then there's F, which is all of the above. And G is none of the above.
You explained you and Mark and I thought you had more.
Oh, I had more there that were the gifted ones, yeah. Okay, raise your cards. Which one you think is really good? I think the game's come to an end. But really, I guess it's my chance. I got the mic, and I was thinking on your anniversary, it just occurred to me how much I take for granted that we've had over the years. And just want to celebrate this day with you. It's been a real gift to us as a family to have parents like you. And just want to celebrate it with you today. So.
Any of the children and grandchildren about either growing up in your home or being part of your lives, what would be a common response, and certainly laughter and fun would be something that we would all remember. And we many times around the kitchen table, in fact countless times when we're laughing too much to be able to eat and so forth, and what precious memories those are. And for a long time I thought that's what every family had, but I've learned since that isn't true. That there's a vast majority that don't get that. And there's also other many characteristics that people would mention if they were asked to describe something about your life and your marriage, and they would, certainly love, certainly hard work, and gentleness, and the love of music, the love of reading, patience. Well, that would be more mom than dad. There would be, but on top of all that list, there would be, I think, rising in some form or another, would be faithfulness, because you have been faithful. You've been faithful to each other, and you've been faithful to your marriage. You've been faithful to your children and grandchildren, and your consistent love and your care and instruction and prayer for them, and especially in difficult times. And you've been faithful in your community and your neighborhood and to your church. You've been faithful in your business practices and in the way you handle your finances. But above all that, you've been faithful to Jesus Christ. And you have trusted Him for protection, for guidance, and for salvation, and taught others the same. And as I was thinking of that, I thought of the story of in the Old Testament about Joshua leading the people to the Jordan River, and he comes to the Jordan River, and there's no crossing it. But God parts the river, and the people cross on dry land. And while they're crossing, God instructs Joshua to send 12 guys in to carry stones out of the river. And that would be a job you would be familiar with, wouldn't you? And these stones, they take to their campsite, and they build a monument, a memorial, so that when people see this memorial, they remember. And when future generations ask, well, what's up with this monument? Well, they tell them about what happened and about what it means. And how it means that God is powerful and God is faithful. And Dad and Mom, you are our monument. You and your parents and many others of your generation are as living stones to us that God is using to show His glory. And future generations, all of us, can see through you and through your lives that God is faithful, and we can trust Him, and He will do what He says. And you have shown in your life by seeking first the kingdom of God, and by your love, and your commitment to Jesus Christ, an example for us to follow. And we are so grateful for you and for your lives. And it's incomprehensible that God would bless us, that God would bless me with the gift of you. That wasn't supposed to happen, but you have a time where you can, if you would like to share, you can raise your hand or come forward or think about it. If you're certainly welcome to share privately with Mom and Dad too. You don't have to feel any pressure to speak at this time, but you're certainly welcome to. So I'll open it up for that at this time.
Congratulations on this special event for you. Back when the special event happened, I was one of the few in the family who were around yet at that point. I was 3.5 years old. I had a very little white suit that I wore as I was the ring bearer for them. And my memories go back even earlier than that. For both of them, because they've both been part of my family also. I guess that's the advantage of having all of these double first cousins, which down in Tennessee is not uncommon. Down there they don't refer to family trees, it's just a family stick. Orville and Norma have been very special for me all my life. One of the things that I have shared with friends of mine that has been an inspiration, and I shared this with them a few years back, finally, after realizing I'd never told them that, but back even at the time when I got married and afterwards, one of the examples they showed me, which was something that was hard for me to just imagine how they could do that, is they would come out of church and they would get in the car and Norma would sit in the middle of the front seat right next to Orv. like we used to do when we were dating. And here they were, at least in my eyes, you know, sort of old married couple, still doing it. And it was so neat to watch, and to me was really an inspiration of, you know, that kind of feeling can still hang on in there, even after you've lived with each other for some time. And then when my parents both died, they were both very supportive and saying, well, you know, I could be a part of their family. Myron, however, took me aside and said this wasn't going to quite work out. Since I was older than he was, and he must have thought about that first place. So, thank you again for the life that you have lived as both inspiration and model for all of us. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, Gary wasn't the only one who was there. Listen to what has already been said about Norma sitting over by Orville. Now I know where that story came from. Must have been them. A couple riding down the road one day, and she said to him, you know, remember those days when you'd have me sitting right over close to you and we'd drive? And he said, who moved? I remember the days too. If Lloyd was here, Lloyd Clicken, he could tell you this too. Norma was doing some student teaching down in the Glenwood area. Starbuck to Glenwood? Wheaton, okay, still part of it. So Orville didn't like to think about that long drive home from Wheaton alone, so Lloyd and I would accompany them, and of course, we weren't old enough to drive, so we just sat back and put it all in. We were talking about Joshua, and this thought came to me about Joshua. One day he said to the Lord, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And that's what I've seen in Orville all these days. And it's, their children are a testament to this fact. And I'm so happy for that. I recall here a couple, 3 years ago, also there's another aspect of that. We were down in Little Bethel for Bethel Days. I don't know how many of you were there that day, but we took time because, you know, people come from different places, so we were taking time to introduce ourselves. And Orville was sitting on one side of the circle, and Eleanor was on the other for some reason. Huh? Eleanor and Norma were sitting together. There we go. Anyway, as we're going around, everybody introducing themselves, and then it came to Norma, she says, my name is Norma Larson, and I'm married to the best man in the whole world. So, it's been terrific, and it's great, you know, for years we were out of the area, didn't get to see each other so often we like, but now I can pick up the phone most any time, and I call over, and Norma answered the phone, and I said, can I speak to my big brother? So that's great, and congratulations to you. Yeah, I remember the wedding. Very nice wedding, and I remember that old Dodge, what was that, 4041? That he was practicing for their racing circuit in. I I was going to school at that time, and she told us when they saw Orville coming by the mailbox, they got back. Well, thank you very much. Really nice afternoon here, and it's good for me to see so many of my relatives. I understand all the nephews and nieces are here from the Larson side. Is that right? So that's great. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll just make a small comment, and I've always appreciated my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And my sister told me one time, she said, if you know of something kind or something that's gone on in someone's life that's really been special to you, don't wait until you hear that they passed away and then make this comment. And I remember one very specific incident. And Orv, you used to come to Mom and Dad's place and get fire permits, right? And he was a good guy. He got that permit. And I was standing by my mother, Wayne and I and Nadine happened to be down there. And my mother looked in my face and she said, Orv has forgot the word right now.
There
No. Oh, I know. She said, Orv has kindness written all over his face. And I have never forgotten that unique statement. So Orv, very much appreciated. And Mom.
Thank you, Anna. Others?
I'll just stand here. I'm not going to wait until she passes away. I just want to thank the Lord for. I just want to thank the Lord for the example that Norma has been to me and her desire to teach God's Word and to love all those little children every single year. She never retires. And people, we need people more like her that just love those kids and give them hugs. And I just thank you, Norma, for doing that and being an example to us.
So as long as you're saying that, I might as well say what's on my mind too. Norma was a superintendent when I was in Sunday school. And I remember you telling us a flannel graph story that went on a long time, and I don't think we ever heard the end of that story. Do you still have it? And that came to mind, because I remember I liked that story, whatever it was about, I don't even remember. But I just sung into my heart, come into my heart, Lord Jesus, come in today, come in this day, come in. Lord Jesus comes to me every once in a while, and I was thinking, so thanks.
Anyone else? And of course, you don't have to do this publicly. Take advantage of the time, Mom and Dad, this afternoon to share whatever memories or thoughts you have. Well, thank you very much for participating in our program, and please enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We'll have lunch here in a little bit, and as I said, there's a guest book there that would mean a lot to Mom and Dad if you signed that, and thank you very much. I wonder if you could join with me as we sing Great is Thy Faithfulness. Great is Thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with Thee. Thou changest not, Thy compassions, they fail not. As Thou you all very much and happy anniversary.